I welcome you to this session of ISO 14001-2015, and today we are going to talk about clause number 4.4, Environmental Management System. So as usual, first of all, I'll read out the requirement to you as given in the standard. Clause 4.4, Environmental Management System. To achieve intended outcomes, including enhancing its environmental performance, the organization shall establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve an environmental management system, including the processes needed and their interactions, in accordance with the requirement of this international standard. Next para, the organization shall consider the knowledge gained in 4.1 and 4.2 when establishing, maintaining the environmental management system. So this is all in the clause. This is a medium kind of clause, and let us now discuss it in more detail. Well, as you understand, the purpose of having an environmental management system is to achieve a better environmental effect. And by saying that we need a better environment, we mean to say that our consumption of electricity, our consumption of paper, our consumption of water is going to be low or less than what we have done previously. And the other aspects of the environment, for example, the weather conditions and things like that, the dust present in the environment, all this has got to be lesser than what used to be there earlier. Then we can say that we have improved the environment. So, to achieve the intended outcome, these are the intended outcomes. We want our environment to improve. So, all the results related to the environment, air, water, even the sound pollution, all this has got to be at a lower level. Dust in the environment, noise level. So all these have to be controlled so that they remain within limits. And that is why we need to have an environment management system. So to achieve the intended outcomes, that means the outcomes which we are aiming at, including enhancing the environmental performance. So we also mean that we are going to improve the environmental performance. The organization has to establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve the environmental management system, including the processes needed and their interactions, in accordance with the requirement of this international standard, that is ISO 14001-2015. And the next para says the organization shall consider the knowledge gained in 4.1 and 4.2. So 4.1, as we know, was pertaining to the context of the organization, understanding the organization and its context, and 4.2 was understanding the needs and expectations of the interested parties. So we have to keep this in mind while designing the environmental management system. So I hope you have understood the requirement fully and completely. But in any case, if you are not clear, let me repeat it once again. Well, by saying that we need an environmental management system and better environment means lesser consumption of power, lesser consumption of water, lesser consumption of wood, lesser consumption of electricity, lesser consumption of coal, so that we consume only a little bit, only to the extent so that the next generation can meet their own requirement without any botheration. So that will be sustainable development. So we have to achieve and work towards sustainable development so that our next generations, they do not suffer because of lack of resources. So the resource utilization has to be such that we reduce our dependence on water, on coal, on wood, on oil, and we try to improve the condition of the environment, like we try to maintain the environmental pollution because of dust and any other pollution. For example, there could be pollution due to noise. So we have to ensure that the noise levels are well below the normal, and we do not create more noise so that people get disturbed. So we have to, if we consume lesser wood and lesser paper, the paper is made out of wood, and wood means that we have to cut the jungles. So we have to sow more plants. So we have to ensure that we continuously sow more plants and create more jungles, so that whatever we consume, whatever wood we consume, more wood is available in future, and our future generations would not suffer because of lack of wood. Accordingly, the coal, our power plants run on coal, but it is not that the coal mining can be done continuously, and it is not going to be anyway affecting our future generations. See, coal is limited inside the earth, so we have to reduce our dependence on coal and think of other modes of generating power, for example, solar power, wind power, because these ways we shall be not depending on, these will be continuous flow of air, continuous flow of whatever is sunshine, whatever we need for producing power. So these sources of power are always available to us, and we should be depending more on such sources of power and leave such sources which are going to deplete. So we have to ensure that we do not deplete the sources, and our future generations are not going to suffer because of depletion of resources, and that will be sustainable development. And as you know, environment is one of the most important pillars of sustainable development. So we shall be ensuring that environment is maintained in such a manner so that our future generations, they don't suffer because of lack of resources. And for us also, the environment will be better if we keep the place clean, if we dispose of the waste in such a manner so that the environment remains clean and there is no pollution to the environment. And environmental pollution in any way is kept at the bare minimum without burning any kind of waste. We have to ensure that our air remains clean, and that is why we are making efforts towards that direction. And we have to continue making efforts so that our environment is sustainable. That means the future generations will not suffer because of our consumption of resources, and we will also have a better environment because we will consume less and we will pollute less. So pollution has to be reduced and consumption has to be reduced. That is the aim and basic purpose of our environmental management system. So we have to work towards that and keep into mind the context of the organization and the interest of the interested parties. So these two things, context and the interest of the interested parties, has to be kept in mind while designing the environmental management system. And we have also to fulfill all the requirements of this particular standard, ISO 14000:2015. All requirements of this particular standard have got to be met. And as I told you, we have to reduce our dependence on natural resources, and natural resources which are available in abundance, like sunshine, like air. So we should be depending on such resources and creating power for ourselves, so that we don't we have lesser dependence on wood and coal and things like that, and oil, so that our future generations will not suffer, and we will be doing sustainable development. So I hope you have understood this requirement fully and completely, and understood how we are going to design our environmental management system. And we have to take care of all the clauses of this particular standard, ISO 14001:2015, and prepare our environmental management system and establish it, implement it, maintain it, and go on completely improving it, so that we have a better environment management system in place, and we are improving continually on that. So I hope you have understood the requirement fully and completely now. And by any chance, if there are any points where you have any doubts, please give your comment below this video, so that I'll try to explain to you once again. And please do not forget to give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and also share my videos with your friends and colleagues who are also working in the field of environmental management system. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell icon, so that as and when I load my video, the same video is available to you for watching. Okay, bye bye, see you on next Sunday again, and next Sunday we shall be meeting on next clause, which is clause number 5, leadership, and 5.1, leadership and commitment. So we shall be discussing this on next Sunday. Bye bye, see you again. Bye.